YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Caitlin here and we are watching Healing Home. Wet. I'm like really oily. Let me powder. My DMs right now. I just opened it. It's like bing, 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 bing. Girl. Okay. Sorry. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, originally I wanted to make this video about healing after a breakup because I know how fucking hard that is. And not only do I get a lot of DMs of like, how did you heal from it? Which is cute because it's like, aw, right? And like everybody has their own way of healing. And I feel like my way was definitely the hard way, but it really, really did work for me. So anyways, I'll speak a little bit about that, but let me go into these questions. Let me go into the questions, honey. Anyways, talk about bing bong. I'm done. Okay. Talk about how you're gonna go on a date with me. Okay. Let me get the real one, all that. The process of just picking up and moving, what you did first. Found a home or a job, etc. I'm going to start with the process of the initial thought, I want to go, right? So I've been wanting to go to Florida for the longest time, since 2020, when I met a man in the strip club. When I worked at a strip club, I worked at Sapphires on Times Square, and I met this guy, right? I was a waitress, and he was just talking and talking and talking. He was such a nice guy, like businessman, Wall Street. Those are the type of guys that we used to get when we when I was working there. And anyways, he comes in and we're talking. Such a nice guy, and he's just talking about FHA loans and buying a house and all this stuff and how he's gonna do it here, there, and there. And I already had the initial plan that, wait a minute, I want to go to Florida, but he was just putting ideas in my head about investment properties and all this stuff. So he was telling me, just save, and you put 3.5 down, da, da, da. Obviously, I don't have a house yet, but just all that information that he was giving me was just boosting my confidence of like, oh, all right, I'm gonna go to Florida. Like, I want to go to Florida, and even if I can't buy a house, it's okay, but I have this knowledge that eventually I want to buy a house. So girl, when I tell you, after that man's presence, I saved every single day. But then, girl, COVID hit, and I didn't work for a while, and I wasn't getting unemployment, so I used all that money. I kind of talk about it in the manifestation video, so please, I'm going to kind of skip through it. So if you really, really want to know, go back to the manifestation video. I really go into deep depth about everything. But eventually I ended up saving my money, or getting money. Not even saving money. The universe threw down money on me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to save half of this money, half I'm going to pay debt, and then we'll figure out how I'm going to leave. Like, how am I going to go? I can't even tell you that it was a plan, because I didn't have a plan. Like, I think everybody's in this mindset of like, oh, okay, I need a plan. She must have had a plan because everything's working out for her. Babe, no plan. No plan, just trust and leaping and knowing that I know I want to go there. Like, I don't want to be here. Nothing, you know when you know when it's your time is up, when there's nothing left for you. I wasn't making no more money. The only thing that was left is my family. But like, Florida's 3 hours, and I'm always here in New York, as you can tell. But I wasn't making no more money. COVID hit, so it's like the restaurants closed down again. It was winter, girl. It was winter, and I was home. And in the winter, I don't care, with the trees and all of that, the beautiful tree and the Fifth Avenue, Saks, like, I don't care. It's winter. I want to stay home, and I get very depressed. I get seasonal depression. I really do, because I don't want to go out. I don't want to be in the cold. I just want to stay home and do absolutely nothing. And I knew that I needed to go to Florida, because Florida, obviously the weather's good, and I always felt productive in Florida. Also, girl, I had recently just got out of a relationship. They always say when you're in a relationship, it takes the amount of time that you were in the relationship to heal from the relationship. So I was in that relationship for 2 years, so it took me 2 years to heal from it. And heal also from, like, not really from the person itself, but heal from the betrayal, from the hurt, from the pain. I had to heal from that. So it was also easier for me to leave because I was able to get a new start. Yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I felt like, I guess might as well, because I was going to talk about how to heal from a relationship anyways, right? So we can kind of entangle this in that. So I was in a place where I didn't want to be with him anymore. He didn't want to be with me. We were good. We were on good terms, but I felt I felt betrayed by him multiple times. And I felt like each time it was getting closer to where I live. Like, you know what I mean? If I live here and you live there, and then you're kind of messing with girls from where I'm from, it felt very like, my ego was like, oh no. Like, my ego felt embarrassed. I felt embarrassed. I felt, why do you have to come in here and do that? Like, why couldn't you stay over there and do that? Why do you have to come in here and mess with girls that I know, you know? So my ego was very much frustrated and annoyed, and I already had in my mind I'm going to Florida. It just, that decision made it easier because he was doing all of that stuff where I'm from. It just made it easier to get up and go and start a life fresh and clean. So I guess to go back to the question, how do you heal from a relationship? I mean, there's many different ways, but one was finding myself instead of finding someone else. Don't rebound, baby, okay? Do not rebound. Really find yourself, and it's gonna hurt more. It's gonna hurt more. It's going to feel more, but that's my second one. My second one is don't numb the feelings. Don't be outside and we outside. No, because babe, that's numbing. Going to the club and drinking and all that, that's numbing, and you're not really healing. And when it's time to actually heal, it's gonna hit you 10 times harder because you ignored it longer, you know? So yeah, so I would say, like, don't be outside, girl. Really be in your emotions. Feel, girl, when I tell you, crying, feeling everything, like really feeling everything and being in my pain and not trying to get out of it, but allowing myself to be in it, and then saying, all right, breathe. You are a strong woman. The fact that you're allowing yourself to feel all these emotions, you're allowing yourself to feel ego, you're allowing yourself to feel emotions and pain and hurt and all this stuff. Now let's get up and let's show up for yourself. Get up and go. You know, get up and take my little stuff and go where I know I need to be. And I knew it was Florida, you know? I've been knew it was Florida for years prior. It pushed me more. I don't know if I answered though the Florida question. I mean, for me, let me go back and read it again. The process of just picking up and moving. Yeah, I mean, there was no plan. And I'm not saying don't have a plan or have a plan. I'm just saying go with your gut. That's what I'm saying. When you know something's right for you, leap and make that jump. You don't have to have A, B, C, and D in order for you to do that. Just get up and go. Make the leap, make the jump. And also, girl, boy, write in your journal, write in your diary, write in a loose leaf paper, whatever you have. Pros and cons. What are the pros to living here in wherever state you are, and what are the cons? Then what are the pros and the cons of living somewhere else? And I think the only thing that is stopping you is the fear of the unknown. That's the only thing that almost stopped me, was how am I going to get a job? How am I going to get an apartment? How am I going to live? How am I going to do this? How? Babe, don't worry about the how. Worry about what. What is it that you want? Don't worry about the how. The how will figure itself out. When you worry about the how, know that you're in ego's place right now. Know that ego is controlling you when you're worried about how. Because how is God's problem. Let God deal with that. The what is your problem. You have to deal with the what you want. But how you're going to get it has nothing to do with you. Let God do God's job. Period. And it's like, when we think about, okay, wait a minute, I want this, right? I want this, and this is how I'm going to get it. You limit yourself. Like, if you want a TV and you think about, okay, I want a TV because, oh, I want my aunt's TV. It's a 45-inch TV, and she could give it to me because she told me that she's going to want this TV, so that's how I'm going to get it. Baby girl, what if a man walked by or a girl walked by and they were throwing out an 80-inch TV? And they, right? You get what I'm saying? So when you're so stuck on the 45-inch TV because that's the only picture in your head of how you can get it, then you can miss out on the 80-inch TV that could have just been given to you by someone just throwing it out on the street. So don't think about how. That's the best advice that I can give someone about moving. So the next one was, what are the do's and don'ts that a guy should and shouldn't do on the first date? Loved that question. Thank you for that question. Appreciate that question. In Florida, I went on my fair share of dates, okay? Like, I've never dated as much as me in Florida. Like, it's crazy. I was like that girl, okay? I am that girl in Florida, like that date girl. Date girl is me. So I can definitely tell you some do's and don'ts for a man. So one day I went on, a date, and I noticed in Florida, they love New York girls. Oh my God. They love the like aggressive. And even though I'm not aggressive, I'm very, what's the word? Delicate. I'm very delicate, but I'm also very like, boy, please. Like, boy, stop. You know? I don't think that's aggressive. I think that's like feisty, you know? So I'm very delicate, but I'm also feisty, and I think they love that. Okay? But because I'm delicate and feisty, and in Florida, I don't think the women aren't really like, they don't have that New York spice, that New York season, you know? So when I went there, it was like, wait a minute, who the hell is this? I'm just me. When I go on dates, I'm literally just me, and I feel like a lot of guys definitely appreciate that, right? So I went on a few dates where men put all their cards down and was like, this one man said, hold on, this one man was like, I could see a future with you. Like, I really could see a future with you. On the first date, right? He said, I could really see a future with you, and I really could see myself falling in love with you. No. That's a no. You don't, I mean, maybe for other girls, but no. I feel like leave a little room for mystery. Leave a little room for flirtation. Leave a little room for mystery. You know? Like, don't sit here and say that you can fall in love with me. We went on the first date. You don't even know me. Okay? That's one. Another no-no. I mean, these are fucking regular no-nos. Like, these are things that all men should know. But clearly, no. It's just weird. Like, Florida men is like a hit or miss. It's definitely a hit or miss. That's so funny. I think it's important to be vulnerable. Like, be vulnerable. And when I say vulnerable, be honest, be yourself, be your truest self. If you're goofy, be goofy. If you're dorky, be fucking dorky. Be you, right? But at the same time, not hold back, but be mysterious. Like, be mysterious. And like, as for the woman should be mysterious, so this goes for both parties. Like, obviously, be yourself. Be goofy. Eat the way you eat. Eat the way you freaking eat. But be mysterious in everything. You know what I mean? Like, be mysterious. And I think it's still be you. You know, on dates, at first dates, you ask questions and different things. Don't lie. Mysterious doesn't mean lie. Be honest. Be truthful. But I don't think they need to know everything about yourself, right? Like, they don't need to know everything. And it's crazy because I did a podcast and I think it came off wrong because I'm like, you're gonna know everything about me, right? Or you're gonna know me from the first date. You're gonna know me. And I didn't mean you're gonna know every single detail about my life, like the darkness and the light. Like, I didn't mean that. What I meant was you're not gonna get a false version of me. You're not gonna get a glorified version of me. I'm gonna eat the way I want to eat. I'm gonna say what I want to say. If you say something that I don't agree with, I'm gonna tell you I don't agree with it. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, because it's the first date and I don't want to offend you. If you feel offended, you feel offended. You know, and I'm learning that. I'm learning not to be a yes man. I'm learning to, because that's what I don't like confrontation. I'm a Cancer. I don't like confrontation, and I would just like, if someone says something, I'm just like, oh, okay, even if I don't agree, oh, okay. But now it's like, I don't agree with that, and I'll tell you why. And it's like, just be you, and that's who I am. You know what I mean? So just be you. I think that's the best dating advice that I can give. Talk to them the way you would talk to yourself in your mirror. You know when you're goofy by yourself at home and you're like, blah, 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 like, be like that in a fucking date. Like, because that's the truest version of you. And it's like, if they don't accept that version of you, then they weren't meant for you in the first place, you know? Because I promise there's going to be a man or a woman that sees the goofy version of you and like, and like that. And that's going to be what brings them, like, interest in you, you know? So just be yourself. Don't give a false version of you. Because if you give the false version of yourself and they fall in love with the false version of yourself, then you're stuck being the false version of you for a while. And then when it does crack open the real you, they're going to be like, who the fuck is that? I don't like that version of you. And it's like, well, this is the real version of me. But it's not their fault. It's kind of yours because you weren't able to be you from the jump. The biggest advice I could ever give you is be the you that your younger self wanted you to be, you know? And like, stay in tune with your child self. Be that child self. What I like in a man is child's play. Like, I love a man who can literally be one with his inner child. I don't like a serious guy, like, goofy men are just the funniest. Like, okay, I'll tell you my celebrity crushes, right? Like, who I think is like, oh my god, I like, they're so cute. It's Pete Davidson, Jake Paul. I know you're gonna hear Jake Paul. I'm like, Jake Paul, but yes, Jake Paul and Russ. And I'll tell you why. None of these people have anything to do with looks. I be feeling people off of their energy. And like, to me, these are my little celebrity crushes. Like, I'm like, oh my god, they're so cute, because of their personalities. Now, I'll start with Jake Paul because I know people are gonna be like, why the hell Jake Paul? Jake Paul is funny. Jake Paul is fucking hilarious. You can't tell me he isn't. And there's two types of humors that I love. I love the cutting ass humor that Jake Paul has and the dry, dark humor that Pete Davidson has. Those are my two favorite fucking humors. Like, I love that shit. And so, you know, being the youngest child, I got my ass cut a lot. And I'm from New York, so cutting ass was a love language here in New York. And so Jake Paul, I feel like Jake Paul has that. Like, Jake Paul is definitely very much cutting ass. Like, I got your hat, you know? And then tatting it on him, like, got your hat. That was hilarious. And, like, just different things. He, like, roasts people. And I just find it funny. And he's naturally funny. I don't think he tries. I think that's just who he is. And he doesn't try to be anything but himself. And when you are yourself, you're going to get hated on as well. Like, people are going to love you, but people are also going to hate you. Because, you know, when you're yourself, it's like, usually when you're yourself, you're a big walking contradiction to everybody else because not everybody can be themselves. So that's that. I think that's why I'm like, I have a cute little crush on Jake Paul. And then the other one is Pete Davidson, because Pete Davidson's humor to me is so funny as well because he has that dark, dry humor. And I love that. Like, that sarcastic humor, that's that little one-liner that is just so funny. It's just funny. And none of them are my physical type. But yet, all three of them, I have, like, the cutest little big crush on them. And then Russ. Russ, this man is 5'3", 5'4". I'm 5'2". He's 2 inches taller than me. 2 inches taller than me. But his confidence, he has such great confidence. And not only is he confident, but he's so wisdomatic and outspoken. He is such a great communicator, and he speaks his truth no matter what. He stands in his truth. And when everybody hates him and everybody's telling him no, but he feels like the answer is yes, or what he feels inside is yes, he's not gonna turn around and say, okay, it's no because everyone says it's no. He's gonna be like, I guess I'm alone then, because it's yes. And I love that. I love that. When everybody was canceling him because he said something, he had said something about like the little pump culture and drugs or whatever and stuff like that. Everyone was trying to cancel him, like fuck Russ. It was like a fuck Russ hashtag, and he was like, whatever, then fuck Russ, and whatever, that's cool, I don't care, and I'm gonna stand by what I stand by. And I think that's so fucking amazing. Like, I love that. So if I can give you advice about like dating, be yourself. I think all three of these men are literally themselves, and they're extremely outspoken. Like, they're so outspoken that there's so many people that hate all of these men. Sorry, that's slay. So it's like, people are going to like you, people are going to dislike you. Just be yourself. If you're a loud person, be loud. If you're a quiet person, be quiet. You know what I mean? Like, sorry. But that's that in this video, because it's getting pretty long. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I just got to slay! Champ, you too now. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.